house. It should have been a historical monument a long time ago. I have been to many shows and graduations in the recent years. The next comment.
Fingers. They're like the
I apologize. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another device. Please hold.
We are so sorry about this. As you all know, we've been trying out a lot of new mechanisms. I sincerely apologize. I recognize you've all set aside time to join us today, so please bear with.
Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits. Please re-enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits. Please re-enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits.
We aren't receiving your number entry due to a possible issue with your phone carrier. Please hang up and dial another provided phone number, or try dialing from another phone. You can also visit link.gotomeeting.com/contact for support.
Code 6. Goodbye. Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits. Please re-enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits. Please re-enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. You entered no digits.
We aren't receiving your number entry due to a possible issue with your phone carrier. Please hang up and dial another provided phone number, or try dialing from another phone. You can also visit link.gotomeeting.com/contact for support.
Code 6. Goodbye. Please enter your access. The access code you entered is in. Please enter your access code. To enable audio controls, please enter your audio PIN followed by the pound or hash sign. If you do not have a PIN, just press pound or hash.
This is John again. We're going to do a brief audio test. This is John again. We're going to do another audio test here.
Jonathan, I'm ready when you are. Okay, it looks like we're back online. We apologize for the technical difficulties for anyone that's on the call or viewing the meeting at this point. I'll continue where we left off. Is the audio working at this point?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So action item number 1, appoint Dominika Megardician to as our board to serve as secretary. And so I'll just go through this again. At this time, I'd like to ask if there's any questions from the board to the city. Treasurer Fred Kokash, any questions?
Not at this moment.
Thank you, sir. Board member Carl Bolte, any questions?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Board member Wanda Chan, any questions?
No, thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And I don't have any questions myself. So let's go ahead and open up to public comments at this time. And just as a reminder to email Dominika's email as for any comments regarding this action. So Dominica, any comments from the public?
Chair Kubo, we don't have any public comment on this item at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. So as of right now, it is 3:23 p.m. and the time for public comment on this item is now closed. I'd like to go through the board members to see if there's any comments, additional comments as well. Treasurer Fred Kokash, any comments?
No comments.
Thank you. Board member Carl Bolte, any comments?
No comments, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Board member Wanda Chan, any comments?
No comment.
Thank you. And I have no comments as well. So let's go ahead and move forward. Would anybody like to motion to appoint Dominica to the board? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. At this time, motion be made by Treasurer Fred Kokas and seconded by Board Member Carl Bolte. Can I get a roll call, Claudia?
Treasurer Kokash?
Present.
So it will be I.
Oh, aye. Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Board Member Chan?
No comment, sorry.
Board Member Chan, we are currently taking the vote to appoint Dominica as secretary. It will be aye, nay, or abstain.
Aye.
Thank you. Board Member Carl Bolte,
Aye.
Chair Kubo.
Aye.
Motion passed by a vote of 5 ayes.
Excellent. So we can go on to topic number 2 today, and that is to discuss our annual report to the City Council, Dominica's estimated budget, services for upcoming year, and any carryover of funds. And I'd like to ask if there's any questions from the board to the city staff. At this time, Treasurer Fred Kokash, any questions?
Not at
Chair
this moment.
Kubo, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I give just a little bit of background on this before we ask for any clarifying questions?
Sorry about that.
Thank you. So as your new secretary of the board, the item before you is to discuss the annual report to the San Gabriel City Council. Staff's been in touch with Civitas, the advisors that helped us to formalize this market improvement district, and they sent us a reminder about the legal requirement to carry forward an annual report. We're responsible for compiling every fiscal year. Seeing that this board hasn't met in a great number of months, I went ahead and asked if it would be all right for us to carry that item forward to council after our first kind of reconvening meeting that we're holding right now. The requirements of the report, and most importantly, is that the report is forward-looking to share with council the estimated budget and services for the upcoming year, and including any carryover funds from previous fiscal years. Because our fiscal year is July 1 to June 30th, the report should have been done June 30th. But with your action today, we'll be able to carry it forward as soon as possible. The annual report shall be presented at the end of each year of operation, and it would include any proposed changes in the boundaries of the improvement district, or in any of the benefit zones or classifications of businesses within the district. It should include the improvements and activities to be provided for that fiscal year. It should include an estimate of the cost of providing improvements and activities, the methods and basis of levying the assessment in sufficient detail to allow each business owner to estimate amount of assessment, and to estimate any surplus or deficit revenues to be carried over from a previous fiscal year, as well as estimate amount of any contributions to be made from sources other than assessments levied pursuant to this part. Given the fact that this board hasn't met in a number of months, there is some limited information that we would be able to pull together to carry forward to the City Council. As part of our weekly or usual City Council meetings, we do provide some COVID updates, COVID-related updates, budget updates recently, and there have been some updates provided to the City Council on TOT and on possible impacts and the impacts to our hoteliers and our tourism bureau. But that is the background on this item, and I open it up to, or go back to the chair to open it up for some discussion as to how to move forward with this item. Thank you. Chair Kubo, I'm not sure if you're speaking, but you are muted.
Sorry about that. Better? Okay. Sorry about that. So as of right now, we have not had any meetings as of late. It's been several months prior to COVID taking over and this pandemic. So at this time, you know, this is a great meeting to have due to the fact that we're getting back on track here. And I'd like to see if there's any questions from the board to the city regarding these topics that Dominica had just mentioned. So Treasurer Fred Kocash, any questions?
Not at this moment.
Thank you. And board member Carl Bolte, any questions?
Yes, one of the things that we had discussed early on was that we would wait to disperse any funds or work on a plan coinciding with the grand opening of our new Curio Hotel, the Jordan. And just to let you know that that has been delayed now with the opening until July of next year. We don't see that happening. So I don't know how that fits in everybody's plans, but that was going to be the initial rollout of advertising the 3 hotels, the Sheraton, the Hilton, and the Jordan Hotel as a destination to come to, and then partnering with the city of San Gabriel and also the mission, San Gabriel too. So that's where I think we've hit a little bit of a roadblock here. That's my only comments of where we should go forward, or should we wait right now? Thank you.
Thank you, board member Carl Bolte. And board member Wanda Chan, do you have any questions at this point?
I understand activity has been delayed because of COVID. So I believe at this point we just have to carry over the funds, I suppose. So I have no other comments.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't have any comments on top of that. You know, I know that this pandemic has affected all of us, especially the hospitality industry. And what we were focused to do with this team that we have here for the San Gabriel Travel and Tourism. But as of right now, yeah, I don't have any other questions. And Secretary Megerdetian, do you have any questions?
No questions, Chairman, but if I may offer, it may be prudent because given the current state of everything going on, and given the fact that this board hasn't met for quite a while, it may be prudent for us to meet be compliant with our legal requirements of the TMID, take an update item to council, providing what we do have in terms of an update of the amount of funds that are in the trust account at the city, that we intend to, further down this agenda, tie up some of the loose ends with our legal documents and opening up our bank account, things like that, so that we are providing an update as to the current standing and the formulation of this board, and let them know that any further marketing plans or use of budget or anything that's yet to be determined. We don't really have a momentum at this time to share too much with them, but what we can share and make sure that we meet our obligations right now at the very least. So if the board is comfortable with that, I think that may be a prudent idea for us to consider and vote on, so that we can move forward on at least moving forward with an item, getting us up to speed and sharing where we stand currently with the city council.
Sure, excellent. Well, thank you for that. And yes, at this point, if there's no other questions from the board, do we have any public comments, Dominica?
We do not have any public comment at this time, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So right now it is 3:34 p.m. and the time for public comment on the second agenda is now closed. Board members, do we have any comments? Treasurer Fred Kokash, any comments?
Not at the moment.
Thank you. Board member Carl Bolte, any comments?
I have one question. So what we're saying is here, we'll report out to the city council, basically just our financials for that we have currently, and then moving forward saying we'll revisit this at our marketing plan and our strategy at a later date. Is that what I'm understanding?
That is my understanding, correct. Dominica?
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, Member Bolte, I think what staff will be able to do is pull together an update as to where we stand currently, the funding that we have currently. We haven't drawn down any of the funding as of yet because we haven't established a bank account. And that's next on our list in terms of next steps that will be shared under the miscellaneous items today. And we will be able to share preliminary information as to the impacts of COVID, perhaps in terms of the the occupancy that the hotels have been experiencing during this time, and share with them, the impact to the hoteliers, but that there isn't much else that we can share with them since we haven't met in a while and we don't really have a momentum on a marketing plan yet. And we will be able to revisit this item when we have more to share with them. To memorialize it is really to move forward with the city council. So we'll be able to move forward and memorialize it at a city council meeting when we have more information to share with them.
Excellent, thank you, Secretary. Board Member Wanda Chan, do you have any comments at this time?
No, thank you.
Perfect, thank you. And I don't have any further comments. Secretary, Mayor DeChan, do you have any comments?
No, thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. So can I get a motion to revisit or memorialize our future marketing plan and also budget at a later date due to the current state of the pandemic and conditions of the hotels?
Chair, if I may interject for just a moment, the item before us is to discuss the annual report. It may be prudent to motion to carry an annual report to the San Gabriel City Council at this time.
Perfect. Well, then can I get a motion to do so at this point?
Motion.
Maybe a second?
Second.
Thank you. And Claudia, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Treasurer Kokash,
Aye.
Board Member Chan,
Aye.
Secretary Megredician,
Aye.
Board Member Bolte,
Aye.
and Chair Kubo.
Aye.
Motion passes by a vote of 5 ayes.
Thank you. So let's move forward to the third item on our list, which is to discuss a marketing plan, which we kind of touched on with item number 2. So I'll leave that to Secretary Dominica.
Thank you, Chairman. The item before you is bringing back the item to discuss the marketing plan. I know that we had a consultant work on a marketing plan for the board earlier in 2019, and it sounds like the discussion and deliberation of the board was that at that time, and that seems many years ago, even though it was just last year at this point, was that we were looking for more of a more pointed and intentional effort of marketing our TMID to the community. Just this morning, there was an article that came out about the LA Tourism and Convention Board that travel and tourism is the 3rd largest employer in LA County, and that many tourism boards are now turning their focus to staycation focuses, thinking about possible local customers. There's also opportunities to consider efforts to bring more business to the area that the tourism board would be able to benefit from, such as additional filming opportunities. And just to share with the board, the city staff is planning to take an item to city council in the coming weeks to sign on to the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation and Film LA's Film Friendliness Ordinance, which is really positioning the city to be more welcoming to filming opportunities, which is could have ancillary benefits to our hoteliers by way of accommodations or opportunities for filming on site, as well as regular visitors to the city. As we know, in-person and annual events that the city would normally host have gone virtual. We are focused on supporting our small businesses at a much more local and virtual effort. And another idea that I would like to share with the board and members of the public that are listening is that at least one of our hotels, the Sheraton, has taken an opportunity to get very creative during this time and market their available space as a work from hotel opportunity to market their office space and their conference rooms for folks who are working from home, but maybe need to get away from home a little bit and have an office space offsite to work from. So I offer that to the board as to some options to consider in terms of our marketing plan, maybe much more concise given the current constraints and protocols as to what we could do if we want to consider some local, some staycation, some filming opportunities, some work from hotel opportunities to get some more accommodations locally. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Megredician. Yeah, I can agree to most of all that, and I appreciate the comments. At this time, does the board have any questions? Treasurer Kokash?
Chair Kuba, I don't have a question, but I love the idea of the city registering to be film friendly. It's worked in previous cities that I've been associated with. And once we do get that opportunity one time, the film industry is very small, so they tend to, return to what feels comfortable and friendly to work with. So it'd be a good opportunity for the city. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment, Treasurer Kokash. Board Member Carl Bolte, any questions?
My only concern would be a lot of our guests that stay in the hotel from overseas tend to be very sensitive to filming. So as long as we're keeping the filming on our end to the city environment and not necessarily inside the hotels, that in the past we've turned down quite a few of these opportunities just because of the privacy of our guests. I'm, of course, only speaking for the Hilton, but our guests would be a little bit sensitive to that. But I'm all for it. And as far as committing blocks of rooms and whatever we can do from there, but as far as filming inside the hotel, we wouldn't really be open to that.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Carl Bolte. Board Member Wanda Chan, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any clarifying questions regarding the marketing plan at this point either. So Secretary Megerdetian, any questions?
No questions, Chairman, but perhaps city staff can come back to the board with an update as to the film friendliness ordinance. Did we want to possibly take a moment to share about what we are doing during COVID in terms of our, maybe not marketing efforts, but is there an opportunity to leverage this board or bring together our resources to market or advertise or get the word out as to what we are doing on our site?
Sure, absolutely. And I think it'd be best to leave that to each hotel to kind of promote what they're doing. And I think a big factor right now is the safety of travelers that visit the area. And due to this pandemic and the measures that each hotel are taking to keep their guests as safe as possible at this time. So why don't we go down the list here and start with Treasurer Kokash. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I mean, here at the Sheraton, thank you, Chair Philip. Here at the Sheraton, we've implemented many protocols that keep our staff and also our guests safe in regards to mandating wearing a mask, 6 feet, apart in distance during check-in or Starbucks or any opportunity in the hotel, limited number of people in our elevators, along with multiple hand sanitizing stations around the hotel. We've, created some digital signage on each floor, reminding our guests of the comfort and safety that we provide for our hotel. Due to, the government mandates, our pool and also fitness center are currently closed until further notice.
Thank you, Treasurer Kokash. Anything else that you'd like to add to that?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Carl Bolte.
Well, Hilton has the Stay Clean program, which is fairly well advertised. They put out a video that we show in our lobby. That's also available for the TVs in the rooms. We haven't done that. So that's a national campaign that they've done. We also temperature check all of the guests coming into the hotel. And we set up a station by our time clock with a temperature check and sanitizer. And we actually monitor that over video each morning to make sure all the employees are, one, checking their temperature and then sanitizing their hands before they punch in. We have two Stay Clean people that are wiping down the areas at all times, and we outfitted them with vests so that people could actually see with names on their back saying Hilton Stay Clean. Let them know we use a wand, one of those ultraviolet wands to go over different areas of the building. So we also have the stickers at the doors to show once a room has been cleaned and sanitized and inspected. We put a seal sticker on the door so that the guests know that nobody else has gone into that room once we've left, which has been extremely well received. But yeah, everything else is a national campaign with Hilton that we're required to do. And also, Hilton comes back and reviews these with us, where we have to send them pictures of what exactly we're doing. So they have a quality assurance program on top of that to make sure that all the hotels are doing that.
Excellent. Thank you, Board Member Carl Bolte. Anything else to that? No? Okay. Board Member Wanda Chan, any questions or comments?
So in addition to what Fred has mentioned, our enhanced safety protocol, which is consistent with Marriott commitment to clean plan, our customers are very well receiving and seeing visibly that we have stepped up in terms of cleanliness in the public area as well. We have appointed 2 cleanliness champions to oversee 66 touch points every day, who is myself and our Director of Housekeeping. And every month we have to certify our hotel following all the procedures to Marriott. I am very pleased to say, since we reopened the hotel in July, we have no incident, we don't have any assumed incident also with the customer, as well as all our staff are safe and healthy. So that's a good thing to see. And as you know, we were closed for 2.5 months and reopened in July. And we see that we do have a lot of customer coming, for a brief vacation to get away. Almost 99% are leisure traveler, and is happy to be able to provide a comfortable and safe for the guests to enjoy.
Excellent. Thank you, Board Member Wanda Chan. And I'd like to go ahead and add to the Hilton comments with our Clean State program. This is something that we do at our property, where we do keep any rooms that do check out vacant for a certain point, a certain amount of time, whether it's 24 to 72 hours, just as an added precaution before we go into sending our staff in there to clean the room and sanitize it with all the Clean State procedures that Hilton has before we rent it out or assign it to the next guest. So other than that, that is all the comments that I have. Secretary Magarditian, any additional comments?
Thank you, Chairman. No comments other than that staff will come back and provide an update when we carry that film friendliness initiative forward to City Council. And any opportunities that come up, we'll also work with the hoteliers to see if there is interest with working with those filming opportunities. Thank you.
Excellent. So at this point, I think with everything with the pandemic that has kind of sidetracked us and delayed any plans that we had a year ago regarding the TMID, it sounds like we're going to need to do some modifications on our marketing plan to kind of bring in this new way of business and new way of welcoming guests to the area with this pandemic at a future date as well. So can I get a motion to continue to discuss and modify as necessary this marketing plan moving forward?
Motion.
Thank you. And can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Carl Bolte. So at this time, can I get Claudia to do a roll call vote, please?
Treasurer Kokash.
Aye.
Board Member Chan.
Aye.
Secretary Magarditian.
Aye.
Board Member Bolte.
Aye.
Chair Kubo.
Aye.
Motion passes by a vote of 5 ayes.
Thank you for that, Claudia. So at this time, we've gone through all three of our topics that we had planned on discussing today. We do have some miscellaneous items that we would like to discuss, and that would be the first one, the corporation's legal documents with the TMID, and also number 2, an update on our tax exemption application with the IRS. And finally, the opening of a bank account for this group here. So can I turn this over to Secretary Megerdetian, please?
Thank you, Chairman. The miscellaneous items before you are to tie up some of our loose ends in formalizing this, our corporation standing and the TMID. My predecessor, Angelica Frostalupo, was appointed to the board as secretary, and since the last few months that we have not met, and since her leaving the organization, there's a few things that were really dependent on today's meeting to move forward. So Claudia Jelen with our office has worked with Civitas and during the pandemic to touch base and see what was needed to be addressed. There was an issue of some legal names on some of our legal initiation documents that have been clarified, so we're in good standing there. 2 months ago, I worked with the Chairman Kubo to sign and submit our tax exempt applications. I did follow up on that yesterday. They have been received but not processed yet. I have that confirmation from our contact at Civitas, and so I will bring forward an update on that when we have one as to when our tax exempt application is processed and approved by the state. And what was really needed was creating the TMID bank account. And by placing me as a secretary on the board today, that action allows us now needing to have a secretary named to open up our bank account. Up until this point, we've been using a trust account at the city of San Gabriel to collect that 1% on a quarterly basis from the formation of this TMID, and that funding is in there. I do have an update as to the funding that has been collected to date. We have $111,969.95 in the account, with an additional check of $54,554.22 sitting in the vault that needs to also be put into that account. Once we have established a bank account, and I'll be working with our Chairman Kubo and our Treasurer Kokash to establish that bank account, we'll be able to draw down that funding and transfer it over to our bank account, so that when we're at a point to move forward with our marketing plan or have any expenditures, the TMID will be able to act as an independent entity and have that funding in our own bank account to do with what we like, really. And that is my update today to you, and I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Excellent. So why don't we open it to any public comments or questions? Dominica, do we see any?
Thank you for the reminder, Chairman. Let me double check. I do not see any public comments.
Excellent. So we'll go around the board members to see if we've got any questions regarding the miscellaneous items. Treasurer Fred Kokash, any questions?
Not at this moment.
Thank you. Board member Carl Bolte, any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. And board member Wanda Chan, any questions?
No, thank you.
Perfect. And I don't have any questions myself. Actually, no, I don't. Secretary Megerdetian, any questions?
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So that wraps up the miscellaneous items that we had on the agenda today. So at this point, I'd like to discuss what time and date that our next meeting will be. And obviously, it all depends on how we do the meeting, whether the pandemic allows us to meet physically at the council chambers, or if we're going to be doing it as we're doing it today over a live stream. So if we can figure out a date for our next meeting and time, I believe originally we had discussed having a meeting every quarter. Is that still the case?
This is Treasurer Kokash. If it's okay with everyone, I think we have it a little earlier due to the situation and kind of keep everyone updated with any opportunities to open the marketing efforts. That's just my thought.
Okay, thank you, Treasurer Kokash. Board Member Carl Bolte, any comments?
No comments.
Okay. Secretary Megardician, I saw your hand go up.
I did want to share with the board, the date that staff intends to carry that film friendliness item is October 6th to the City Council. We'll be able to provide an update to you thereafter.
Okay, so anytime after October 6th is the best date, is that correct, Secretary?
Just wanted to bring it to your awareness in case the determination, if we wanted to consider that. But we can always provide that information to the board.
Okay, perfect. So anytime October, maybe 3rd, 4th week, how does that sound to the board?
Hold, please. I'm good with anything in that date frame.
Okay, so either the 14th or maybe the 21st, we can keep it on a Wednesday around the same time, 3 p.m.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good.
Okay, so
the 14th.
Board Member Carl Bolte, 14th?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Secretary Megardician, we're okay on the 14th at 3 p.m.
Yes, sir. Looks good to me, and we'll make sure that if we're still meeting in a virtual format, that we have the staff available to help manage the virtual format for us as we are today. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning of the meeting. And at this time, at 4:01 p.m., the meeting does stand adjourned, and the next meeting of the San Gabriel Travel and Tourism Board will be on October 14th at 3 p.m. and location to be determined based on how safe it is at that time.
All right, thank you.
Excellent, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.